This is Amy from WKDU, sitting down here with Las Nubes in the lovely green room of Johnny Brenda's.
It's pretty awesome in here.
Yeah, actually, the building is super sick. A few years ago, I was like deep diving on, like, this used to be like a speakeasy bar. Back then. It's very historic.
Are there tunnels underground?
There were
honestly probably.
Yeah, there's like a more stairs situation.
Yeah. More stairs.
More stairs.
The stairs of love.
But yes, first off, welcome to the beautiful city of Philadelphia.
Thank you.
City of brotherly love. You came on an Eagles game day.
We saw that. We did notice. And apparently y'all won.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm a bad
Sports.
Philadelphia resident. But yeah, you can tell when, like, there's always people in Eagles gear, but when there's an extreme amount of them, you're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all won, so if you need to go fake that later, be like,
we got our team. Have you guys ever visited Philadelphia before?
Yeah.
We've played here before, yeah.
Will be our fourth time playing here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on
I love
Philadelphia?
Philly. We have a lot of friends that live here.
Mm-hmm.
We're friends with bands that are from here, and like, I don't know, every time it's pretty fun. Like, the first time we played was at Cousin Danny's.
Oh,
It
yes.
was sick.
That was something.
That was fun. And
That was
then
something.
we played at a house show, I think the year after.
Mm-hmm. We played in a basement,
The classic experience, the dirt
Yeah.
Philly
Well,
basement.
it was awesome.
The thing is, it was supposed to happen somewhere, and then it got moved to the basement.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
that
I love Philly.
That
dude.
was
I
really
love
cool.
Philly.
Yeah. And
Yay.
then the last time, what was the place called?
Photo Club.
Photo
Oh,
Club.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, then that actually dovetails nicely into my first proper question. Just because Philadelphia, it's one of those names that when people talk about, like, DIY scenes across the country, Philly is pretty well known for its DIY scene. And I feel like Miami, where you guys are from, that name also gets thrown around quite a bit as far as just, like, a very, like, DIY or die attitude around the music scene.
I'm glad that's the reputation we have.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those things, like, Miami is just a very unique place, like, culturally, historically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you think that plays into how people make music in the DIY scene down there?
I think it's important to tack on culturally, historically, 100%, but also the climate.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a big thing. And also the isolation, because you have to drive a while to get out of Miami and to get out of the state. So a lot of that, I think, drives what people create, because, like, we're down there and it's, historically we haven't gotten... Yeah, well, we haven't, we're always, like, not a popular tourist stop, because you either have to, like, start or stop in Miami.
True.
So some people are just like, fuck it, let's not do Miami. Oh, I already said a bad word. And then, also the climate on top of that, which,
More and more, though, I think that we've been getting a lot more shows happening down there. Like, Chat Pile played at Gramps a few months ago, and it was sick.
Well, also, what happens is, like, some people will be like, yeah, we're gonna do it, and then they're like, oh, this is awesome, and then they tell other people, actually, like, go play Miami, because it's great. And I think that's a helpful, like, domino effect of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and similar along the, DIY scene type stuff, your guys' sophomore album came out earlier this year. And it came how many years after the debut album?
5.
5 years!
One whole hand.
And from my understanding, a large part of that was due to the classic DIY struggle of the fluctuating lineup and just trying to get
and
things...
COVID.
Something happened in between.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, there's some songs on the record that I had written before COVID, like right after we had finished the first album.
There's a couple songs on this record that were written before the first record came out.
Yeah.
So
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's we really took our time with this one, but we wanted to make it just really, really special, and wanted to make sure we had every single detail and make sure that we were happy with it, because there are certain things on the first record that we wish were a little different, and you just go learning as you go.
Yeah.
And kind of with that, like, you're on tour in support of the new album. How's it feel to be on the other side? Album's out, people hear it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, sometimes it's kind of like a slow burn process. The record comes out and you're just like, oh my god, it feels like I gave birth. And then you're sitting there thinking, okay, when are people gonna start talking about it? All right, waiting, and then eventually you start doing more interviews, you do sessions, you tour, and all of that combined just helps promote that.
Yeah, there's it's been really well received, which is great.
Yay!
Which is like super humbling too. Like I'm not like scouring for reviews or anything, but our publicists and labels in all the different regions or whatever send us everything, and there hasn't been anything that's been like, this sucks. Some people are like, wow, that 10-minute song is too fucking long, but then a lot of people are like, yo, the 10-minute song. Like that's been like the only and probably worst criticism that I've seen is like some people don't like the 10-minute song because it's 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
fine. Like that's a good problem to have. And then there's people who it's funny. Last night we were playing in New York. There was a couple from Quebec who ended up at the show by accident. They're like, oh, we just came in here and oh my god, and like bought the record. They're like, we've never heard you before right now. So it's cool. Like that's like the touring part. You're going out and playing it, because those people from Quebec who wandered randomly into the venue, they would not have heard the record somewhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But they just happened to see us play.
Yeah.
And bought the record and like it. So.
And speaking
cool.
of the record, I've given it a few listens. I agree, it is very good.
What do you think about the 10-minute song?
The 10-minute song. I think it's a bit different than anything else on the album, just because the record. For context, for listeners, the record is called Tormentas Malsanas. It's definitely a rockin' album, but it's got hooks for days, it's got riffs for days. That 10-minute song is the one where the riffs take a sidestep for, just noisy, fun feedback
just
stuff.
A little breather,
yeah, as a treat.
But I want to ask about, the classic, what are the inspirations for the album,
Yeah, I mean, every song has, I think, a different inspiration. Anywhere from, like, Mogwai to Juana Molina.
I feel like this is the first time we've said Mogwai, and that's huge, because it's like, that's very much a thing.
Like them and Hum, obviously the Breeders, Guided by Voices, Unwound. Like it just goes kind of everywhere. It combines all of our favorite bands into one little package.
Yay! Yeah. And also with the album, on the cover, it looks like is that a photo from the 90s or something of two little kids?
Yeah, so those are my cousins, Benny and Boy, from when they were kids in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And the photo was taken by my Aunt Judy, and she's an artist. And that photo is part of a triptych of a contact sheet of them. And she printed the triptych and then painted over it with, she said it was like crayon or something.
Yeah, she did like some...
Yeah, that's why it's like black and white, but it has the little colors.
But it kind of reminds me of some of those, like there's some, like Janet Jackson, there's album, is it Not for Control, but...
I know the exact one you're talking about, where
right?
it's black and white with like kind of like a scribbly...
Yeah, scribbly stuff, like it reminded me a lot of that, which is really like that. I always loved that aesthetic. And then Grace Jones, it was like, I can't think of the 12-inch right now.
It also, it's like that, but then you also have the Smashing Pumpkins Siamese vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my cousins.
That's so sweet. And I feel like hearing you guys talk about this is very much labor of love, product of love,
and
family, friendship, joy, yay.
We always like to incorporate family and friends in some way, and support, our artist friends and all that. And one of the songs on the record is about one of the boys on the photo.
Which song is it?
Silhouetted Man.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Yeah, he passed away a couple years ago, so I wanted to like kind of include him in that way, because he's one of the first people that showed me good bands like Broken Social Scene, who was also an inspiration for us, and Silhouetted Man has the like clapping that you would hear in, what song is it?
It's the song. That one.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That's like one of my favorite albums of all time. It's gonna really bother me.
That record. What's it called?
Yeah, it is your Forgotten People.
Yeah, it's that. No, it's that record. I just don't know what that song is called.
It's a shame we don't have these little computers in our pockets.
I know. I like, song titles is where I really kind of like lose it. I know, like, my favorite Broken Social Scene song is Shampoo Suicide, and that's on that record, and so I know the name, but
I think it's Stars and Suns.
Okay, whatever. This is hilarious right now.
It's Stars and Suns.
Stars and Suns. Okay. So Casey Accidental, because there's that intro that's like, and then Casey Accidental, and then that. Anyway,
we're getting sidetracked.
Good music.
We got not denied, but we offered to do a podcast interview about this record, and then the interviewer was like, actually, I'd rather interview you both separately about these other records you both proposed. So we don't get to do that. So now, see, we kind of get to do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
2 birds.
Okay, and then switching course a little bit. Another thing for people who listen to the album, you guys are a bilingual act.
Yeah.
Which is super fun, super cool. And so this is another, classic question. What's the lyric writing process like when you have 2 languages that have different, syntax, have different sounds, have different rhythms to the language? How does that affect when you're trying to write lyrics to the music you're writing?
Usually the music comes first. For me, like when it comes to writing, I guess sometimes if I'm inspired, I'll write a poem first and we'll use it for lyrics later, but most of the time it's music first, lyrics last. And I'll sometimes write the lyrics in both languages and then see which one sounds better, and like how the words fit in certain melodies, and if I don't know, like certain things sound cheesy in English. Sometimes they sound cheesy in Spanish, so it all just depends on how it works, But that's my process in lyric writing for both languages.
And kind of along the Spanish language music track, there's tons of great alternative Spanish language stuff coming out. I feel like within the Anglophile sphere, it's getting more attention the past few years. Some of the big, underground music corners have been spotlighting it, NPR's all Latino stuff. KEXP, you guys just played a live set for El Sonido.
Yeah.
So yes, very fun, very exciting. But it's one of those things, I know at least in my experience, I love the music, but as someone who does not speak Spanish myself, it can be hard to find the stuff, to search through.
Interesting.
So would you be able to recommend any great Spanish language rockin' bands?
El Chirota from Mexico, they're fucking awesome. Mangers, also from Mexico.
Mangers is so good.
Las Fin del Mundo from Argentina.
Vondre, also from Mexico.
From Mexico. There's, El Mató a un Policía Motorizado from Argentina. Oh my god, there's just long lists of
it's like you always draw a blank when it's and now.
On the
and
spot.
it's like,
there's a band called Diles que no me maten from Mexico that they're
lots of good shit is coming out of Mexico.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, they know what's up.
And there's even there's heavier stuff too. I like Satone a lot. But that's super, super heavy, but that's also out of Mexico.
Well, thank you for those. And for people listening at home, I will be playing songs from those artists following this interview.
Amazing.
We're going to wrap up this quick interview right here. What are you guys looking forward to? What does the future hold for Las Nubes?
Well, we are on this really awesome tour right now with Davila 666, and we're just looking forward to how the rest of it will go. We're having a lot of fun with them. They're awesome, and we had a blast with Ladrones too. I don't we kind of have a little break,
bit of a break,
and then in February we're going to Europe for the first
Oh my
time.
gosh! It's so exciting. Wait, what parts of Europe?
I think it's gonna be Spain, Portugal, France, and the UK. We're super stoked. I want to in that time that we have the break though. I'm thinking maybe we should write an EP or something, just to not wait 5 years for another record to come out.
Get the ball rolling while it's here.
Yeah, I got a tape machine at work. Ooh. And I think that's gonna factor into maybe some of the news stuff, or demoing it at least. But trying to work with that and trying to
just keep working,
do
on stuff.
a little bit more DIY on the recording side. Just
we definitely want to tour more because we just bought a van recently.
Congratulations,
Miss Vanjie.
Yeah, Miss Vanjie.
We need to tour more.
To pay for it.
Well, then we might be seeing you guys up here in Philly sometime soon.
For sure.
Yeah.
Once again, I've been chatting with Las Nubes here right before they play their show at Johnny Brenda's. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you.
And break a leg.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.